Hey there, friend. Welcome to Cosy Coaching.
Hi, I'm Sunita, your mindset and confidence coach, and we are getting real about self-growth, one late night chat at a time. Let's get into today. Hello. Welcome back to Cosy Coaching. Your girl Sunita is back. Where have I been? You're like, girl, we just got into Cosy Coaching and you disappeared. But I had to take, and I've been calling it an unintentional, intentional break. I'm about to break down why I took that break because, girl, jeez, life's been lifing, and I really want to do this justice because it was something that was really profound for me, and I'm hoping that it will help you in any way if you're struggling with anything. That I'm going to hope that this is going to help to inspire you and help you on the journey that you're of your personal development journey, of your self growth journey. And I took these last 2 months off. Originally, it was only supposed to be about a month off, just really like get my head together. But when I started going through the process, I realized that I needed more time and I gave myself that grace. And it's just so happened that this comeback is off of the back of me taking my dream trip to Japan. And Japan was top of my bucket list. So to end this break with that trip, it was my 40th birthday trip. I'm currently not 40 yet. But we went early because we wanted to see the cherry blossoms. Didn't see the cherry blossoms, so I brought the cherry blossoms home with me. But yeah, let's get into it. And let me take you back to the 7th of February. I've got this book here. I carry this book with me everywhere. And if you have watched my previous Cosy Coaching episodes, you'll see I always have this book with me. And that night, I'm so glad I had that book with me. So let me take you back. 7th of February, I had spent the day with my best friend. I was at my sister's house, chilling, having a great time. My sister was quite tired and she was like, I'm going to go to bed. She's like, I hope you don't mind. And I was like, bro, you don't need to entertain me. Like, just go to bed. So she was going to bed. She went to bed, and I do a weekly time planning. So I plan my following week. I review the week that I've had and I plan my following week. So I bought my laptop. Again, Mac comes everywhere with me too. And I was sat on my laptop. Kids had gone to bed. Sister had gone to bed. I'm just sat on the sofa and watching YouTube, which is what I normally do. And I decided to watch a couple of my Cosy Coaching episodes and just like give myself some feedback of how can I improve? Where did I waffle on a little bit too much where I could have referred them to a previous episode instead of reiterating the things that I'd said? Anyways, that's what I was doing. And I was giving myself some feedback. And I was getting really tired. And I remember I was on the sofa and I was lying like this. And I was listening to Cosy Coaching. And I said to myself, when I finished this episode, I'd watched 3 by then. I was knackered. I was like, I'm going to go to bed. And as I heard myself, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, all of that. I heard myself say that and I sat up. And if you watch YouTube, you'll know that YouTube will recommend videos. And funnily enough, it had kept on recommending me my Cosy Coaching videos. So I didn't think anything of it. So when I sat up and I didn't see a Cosy Coaching episode, I had the remote in my hand and I was about to switch it off, where the picture that came up was of Pastor Mike Jr. Hold on. I wrote his name down, sorry. But yeah, Pastor Mike Jr. And it was his Let Them series. And that came up. And I love the Mel Robbins book, the Let Them theory. I haven't read the book yet, but I have the book. And I listened to her podcast, so I knew what that concept was about. And I was there poised with the remote about to switch it off when I saw the Let Them theory. And I wrote it down because as soon as this happened, I needed to start journaling. And luckily, like I said, I always have this book with me. I write my content ideas in it. Anything that comes up, I always have this book with me. When anything comes up, I'll write things in this book. I like to keep everything together. And it came up. It was part 3. So bearing in mind, this was part 3 of his series. I believe there are 3 parts to it. So it was the last part of the series. And I'm going to insert the bit that as soon as he said it, I burst into tears because I couldn't articulate what he had described. I felt everything that he was saying, and all of a sudden I felt this rush of emotion, and I pull out my phone and I start recording. I'll insert I think it's 2 clips I've got. I'll insert the clips here.
Overfunctioning is doing more than God asked in order to avoid feeling what God is trying to heal. Overfunctioning is doing more than what God asked of you in order to avoid feeling what God is trying to heal. In other words, you see hurt get ready to come your way. So you overfunction, you overdo, you over-explain, you over-hustle, you overthink, you overgo. I'm going to go hard because you're trying your best to shield yourself from what you feel may hurt you when you don't realize sometimes God heals you by hurting you. You so busy trying to keep them because you don't want to deal with the pain of losing them and don't realize God's trying to heal the part of you that having them is numbing. No amens right there. Overfunctioning is not diligence or excellence. It is anxiety masquerading as obedience. Yes, God called you to be a good person. Yes, God called you to be a Christian. Yes, God called you to love the unlovable and provide for those in need. The problem is you are overfunctioning or being more to people that God never assigned to you. I'm going to say this, only 3 y'all going to say amen, it's cool in the game. This week I made a statement to some people in my life that freed me but got me kicked out the group text, but it's cool in the game. I'm not sure if y'all my assignment anymore. Do you catch what I just said? Because it is possible.
It just spoke to me, and I felt like I was doing so much for Blossom Her Way, my coaching business, but I wasn't getting any traction. Things weren't moving as fast as I wanted them to. I felt like I was trudging through mud some days, and I was like, I've got so much to give. Like, why are the women not coming? Like, send them my way. And I was working, and bearing in mind, I've got a full-time job. I'm a mum. I'm training for a triathlon. Like, I've got so much going on. And that's when it hit me. And I was like, wow, I've been doing too much. And I'm so scared to slow down because I feel like I'm going to lose momentum. People are not going to see my content anymore. They're not going to know that my business is here to help them. And how do I take that break? How do I relax? How do I slow down? And everything was all consuming. And in that one moment, everything just came together and I bawled my eyes out. When that happened, I was like, stop. So I paused the TV and I started writing. So I started journaling in my book and I was literally just explaining, and I'm writing. I literally wrote, 2 pages I was writing. And the bit that really got me, I'm going to read this to you. And it said, trust requires space and over-functioning leaves no room for God to move. Then he says, talking about Pastor Mike, says, many of us stay busy because rest feels unsafe. Silence feels threatening, and slowing down would force us to feel what we've been avoiding. So productivity becomes a hiding place. And that's when it hit me that all of this things that I've been trying to do, producing this content, doing cozy coaching, like trying to come up with offers and freebies and all of this, it was just me over functioning, over producing, because I wasn't dealing with things that was happening in my life. And when I say that, I am referring to my mum's death. My mum, it's coming up to now a year that my mum passed, and I think the first 2 to 3 months was just a haze. By the time we buried her, it was still a haze. And then I remember my husband saying, like, don't let this stop you from going after your dreams. You don't know how proud your mum was of you. And I remember thinking, okay, just go, just do it. And I promise you, I was posting consistently, I was filming consistently, I was doing all the things. And then I discovered triathlon training, which is a whole different kettle of fish. And I really believe in signs, because I had signs to start cozy coaching. And if you know me, it's so funny. Pink is literally not my colour at all. I am the least girliest girl out there. Like, give me a brown and neutral, I'm good. But my brand is literally Blossom Her Way. It's literally after the cherry blossom. That's my favourite flower. And that's where all the accents came in. And cozy coaching came to me because I'd gotten changed into my pajamas at night when I was supposed to be filming, and it came to me, cozy coaching, like that concept that I had not seen before. This is how cozy coaching was born. 2 weeks later, we were clearing out my mum's stuff. I found this blanket. This blanket had been with us since I was a kid. It doesn't matter. It's not my brand colours, but the sign was there. So when I saw that sermon, it just reinforced that this was another message from God, that it was time, that you're doing too much, my girl. Like, you need to start feeling. Like, that's that line when it says, many of us stay busy because rest feels unsafe. Silence feels threatening, and slowing down would force us to feel what we've been avoiding. So productivity becomes a hiding place. That verbatim was what he said. I'm sure that's verbatim what he said. And if not, I'm going to post what he said. It just hit me like a ton of bricks, and I just felt like I had not been dealing with my mum's death. Anyways, I go on to continue journaling, and this time the TV is still paused. I'm just journaling. I had a coaching session with my coach coming up that week, and I was like, this is a sign telling me that I need to not be part of my coaching group anymore. I need to remove myself away from that. I need to like come back to myself. Like, what is my why? Why did I start wanting to be a coach? Like, what is the reason? Like, in Cardi B's, what's the reason? That, like, really, like, what is my why? Like, have I lost that? And if not, like, how can I pull it back? And I remember just thinking, like, she'll understand. And it's just loads of things just started, like, pouring out of me. And it felt so releasing and so, like, I couldn't believe it. So I literally, this is what I wrote, right? This is the last sentence I wrote. And this was what was the most poignant part for me. And I said, let me go back. I need to release my coaching, training, mindset back to God and really slow down and hear what he's telling me to do. I need to be obedient. I wrote obedient. I put my pen in my book. I closed it and I looked up. And on the screen was the picture that we used for my mum's funeral. And that I lost it again. I lost it again. I'm not going to lie. I lost it. And that was because if you have an Amazon Fire Stick, you can put a carousel picture. And my sister put pictures on there. And it was just, as I wrote that, I put the book down. I looked up at this TV and that picture was there. My mum was just there smiling at me. And at the bottom of the picture, it says, all you need is love. That's the picture that we used for her funeral. Like, that was what was on the TV. And I cried. And it was such an out of body experience that I knew that not only was God sending me the message, he sent it through my mum, and he let my mum come and say, hi, it's me. I'm telling you to slow down, girl. I'm telling you, you don't need to be doing all of this. Everything will come when it's supposed to come, and this is not how you're going to get to your end goal. So stop, feel your feelings, stop trying to overproduce everything, stop trying to be this perfect version of yourself, because you don't need to do all of that. Like, you as you are, Sunita, is going to build this business and build the life that you want and be the woman that you want to be, and you don't need to do it this way. And it was like she was giving me permission to just stop. And I cried. I cried some more. And I just remember, I remember after that, and I saw my mum, and I was like, yes, I hear it, I get it, I understand, I hear the message, because there's been too many signs in my life for me to ignore that. That was like blatant in my face. Like, I've lost my dad and I've lost my nan. Those are the two closest people that I've lost. And then obviously now my mum, but I've never been, I guess, like visited by somebody who's died, and it was literally like my mum. And I wasn't sleeping, I was fully awake, I was fully like coherent, and it was my mum just being like, this is me, bro, like fix up, slow down, stop doing all of this, you don't need to do all of this. And it was just a real awakening moment for me. And that's when I knew it was just time. And it wasn't wait a little while, it wasn't in a couple of weeks, it was immediately like, stop. And that's what I did. I basically, after that, the next day, another thing happened. Like, it was absolutely mental. So after that, I was telling my sister about it, the sermon. I made her watch it, because I was like, I can't keep this to myself. Like, after I'd finished, I watched the full sermon after I saw her picture, because I knew she was telling me watch the rest. Like, that 10 minutes wasn't just it. Like, watch the rest. And I watched that sermon about 4 times. And the fact that it was part 3 goes to show that it was that point. That's why I know it was a sign, because it could have shown me part 1, it could show me part 2, but it showed me part 3. Over productivity, going, avoiding my feelings, not dealing with the grief of losing my mum, but like just going for the sake of going. And I showed my sister it, and that morning I had gotten up, I'd slept in my mum's room, and we have the picture that we used for the funeral in her room, and we have a family picture in her room. And I was spreading up the bed, and I threw the pillow again. I was saying to mum, ha ha ha, funny, you really got me. And I threw the pillow at the back of the headboard, and the family picture dropped down. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? Right, and I picked up the picture, and I'm looking at every single, because in that picture is my family picture, my immediate family, every single person in my immediate family is in that picture. And I was looking at every single one of them going, Mum, like, who am I supposed to be sending this to? Clearly this message wasn't just meant for me and Sophie. Like, who was this for? Like, show me who this person was for, who I need to send it to. And I carried on about my day. And we were talking about it. I swear, that afternoon, that's all we spoke about. That morning, that afternoon, it's all we spoke about. And then I was getting ready to go home. And that's when it hit me. Every single one of those people in that picture, in my family group, it was meant for everybody. All of them. That's what Mum was saying. All of them need that message. Like, we were all struggling. We were all just in a place where we weren't speaking to each other. Everybody thought everybody was doing okay, and their struggles were just their own, because nobody else seemed like they were struggling. But it turns out we were all struggling and not talking about it. I've never with a quickness gone on YouTube, literally found a sermon, sent it to the family group. And I wanted to send a message with it. And I was trying to write something. It just wasn't hitting. So, and I wanted to send a voice note and I just didn't know what to say. And I just said, God, tell me what to say. I put on that voice note and I just spoke from the heart. And I told my family, watch this sermon. Like, Mum is telling us that we all need to slow down. We all need to talk to each other. Like, if we're struggling, we're struggling. It's okay, but let us support each other. Let us be a unit, a family. Like, Mum kept us all together. It's now our job to keep us together. And it was like Mum sent that message through me to tell everybody, we need to start talking. We need to start telling each other while we're struggling and deal with it. We're all going to be okay if we communicate more. So off of the back of that, I left my coaching group. Sorry, my baby brought blank there. I left my coaching group. I started therapy. I've been doing therapy now for 2 months. And what I tell you, therapy, wow. It really is. You made me feel some ugly truths. And I've never cried so much in front of a stranger and exposed so much of me to find out so much about me. And it's really funny because I saw a video today that says when you do therapy, you need to get the most out of therapy, you need to stop lying to your therapist, which is hilarious. Because sometimes I went into therapy and I was like, don't even really know what I've got to talk about today. Within 10 minutes, I'm bawling my eyes out and I've got so much to talk about. It helped me also to understand some of the things that I was going through from my dad's death, because I didn't do therapy after my dad's death. I pretty much went back to normal after my dad's death. But I felt guilty that I couldn't function as well losing my mum how I lost my dad. And of course they were 14 years apart in death, so I'm a totally different person now. I feel my feelings a little bit more and I don't try and hide them. Also, I thought clearly that overproductivity was just another way for me to mask it, whereas with my dad it was more partying and doing all of those kind of things. But it really helped me to release some guilt that I was holding, because I felt really guilty that I felt so sad and so disconnected and so not myself when my mum died, and I felt guilty that I didn't, like, it was different love. It was weird. I've really delved into a lot of things. But I say all of that to say that slowing down was super, super hard, because even talking to my therapist, I was literally like, I want to do things. I want to film things. I want to build my business, but I know I shouldn't be doing that right now. I need to know who I am. I need to reclaim Sunita again and hold her tight and be like, you're okay, girl. Like, you're okay. And it has been difficult. It's been so hard not to post, not to film, not to be on my laptop. When I tell you, poor Mac, yeah, he's probably over there thinking, girl, where are you? When I tell you, I'm on there. Google Drive. I'm there. And to remove myself, yeah, it really was just, it was a lot. And I've been through a lot, but I have felt really happy. I'm not gonna lie, I felt really happy. I felt really calm. I've been journaling about my feelings. I've really tried to just understand who I want to be. Like, who am I? And what I've also come to find out and learn about myself is that life is always going to be a transformation. Like, self-growth is a fully lifetime journey. It's not like 5 minutes. It's not this moment in time. Like, you can reinvent and reclaim and do all of those things as many times as you like. Like, there are no boundaries to life. But sometimes life will come at you and you think you know yourself. Life comes at you and you have to dig a little bit deeper to really find that resilience in you, to find out who the hell you are and what the hell you're made of. And I've found a different version of myself again. So I don't know, we're on Sunita 2.5 or whatever we want to call it. But I'm in a great place. I'm in a happy, ecstatic place. And there's going to be a switch up. Cozy coaching is going to stay. I'm not getting rid of cozy coaching. Cozy coaching came to me as a sign from God that this is what I'm supposed to do. So I'm not about to stop doing this, but my content is going to change up just a slight bit. I want to show all the sides of me. So I really love self-development, personal growth, but I'm also training for a triathlon. That hasn't stopped. For one thing, these last 2 months, I've been tunnel vision on my triathlon training. I can now swim a meter in the swimming pool. I can run for 16 minutes and I couldn't run 16 minutes before. I am cycling for 40 minutes straight. Still need to buy a bike, but I'm cycling on the ones in the gym. I'm going to the gym. Like, all of those things are happening, and I want to share all of those things with you. I love makeup. I really, one of the things I love doing is putting myself together, because a part of Sunita, future self me, is I'm always put together, and that's who I am, and I want to share that parts of me. I want to share my wins. I want to share what I stand for. I want to share my struggles. I want to share all those crazy things that I think about, because I think about a lot of things. And I don't think a lot of people will agree with some of the things that I do think about and say in private. Some things will stay private. But I just want to show a little bit more of me. And that's the reason why I took a break. God and my mum told me that I was doing too much and masking my grief and masking things I really needed to deal with. And one thing that I dealt with in therapy as well is dealing with identity, which is so crazy, because I didn't know that I had some identity problems. But when I started talking, I was just like, yeah, shit. And I'm laughing, and you might think I'm making light of it, but I am not. But I have really just been through a journey these last months, and yeah, to end that craziness with 10 days in Japan with some great people who've got a real special place in my heart. They had a special place in my heart before, but they've even got a better special place in my heart. They came with me on my 40th birthday trip to my ultimate bucket list country. I've got a blog coming soon of that trip, because you know your girl didn't go to Japan and not vlog it. But yeah, content's going to change up, and you're going to see a little bit more of me, a little bit more rawness. Not so much in the teachy kind of way. I want to show you what I'm doing, not just teach like a teacher. If you can see somebody come from here and come to there, you'll better understand how you can implement that into your life as well. So my key takeaways, because we're never going to do a cozy coaching session and I not give you a key takeaway from our session, because at the end of the day, I'm a coach, baby. So your key takeaways, right? Over productivity is stopping you from feeling what you need to feel. So if you feel like you're on that hamster wheel of life, take a time, right? Life is not going to stop, but you need to take that control back and be okay with that. Be okay with, okay, right, so-and-so is not going to see me for a week, or I'm going to need to disappear for a month, or I'm going to just need to just block everything out. Don't keep being overproductive, taking everything on. I've had some of the most honest conversations that I could have with the closest people to me when I stopped masking and I started really telling people how I felt. Not in a horrible way, not in a nasty way, just this is how I'm feeling. Open your mouth. Like I always say, closed mouths don't get fed, and I live by that saying, but I wasn't actually truly living by it. And now I'm living in my truth. Like, closed mouths don't get fed. We need to talk about these things. Silence is okay. The silence might feel deafening. I promise you, it's so loud in there when the silence happens, when you're not doing everything for everybody, or for like you're doing everything, work is taking everything, like you want to be healthy, you want to be sociable, you want to do all of that, like all of that, the silence is going to be deafening for the first week. But once you ride that week, things start to get easier. Just don't do it by yourself. Whether that is with a therapist or with a coach, with your best friend, with your mum, whoever that support system is with you, let them support you. I went for outside help because what I'm dealing with grief, we're all dealing with, and I think outside perspective was really key. I've never done therapy before, but my therapist, he was absolutely golden, and he made me feel things that I didn't even know that I could feel, or speak about things that I didn't even know I wanted to speak about. So yeah, definitely get help, and the silence might be deafening in the beginning, but it will get easier, and don't stop. If you want to watch that sermon, I highly recommend it. Pastor Mike Jr., the Let Them series. I'm going to pop the link to that sermon in the video, in the show notes. I have watched it so many times. Every single time I've watched it, I've taken something else from it. And he talks about Jesus, and how, obviously he talks about Jesus. Obviously he talks about Jesus. But there's a particular story he talks about when Jesus is backed up onto the cliff, and he doesn't explain who he is. He just walks right through. He walks past them. He's like, I'm Jesus. He doesn't even say I'm Jesus. He's like, you guys can back whoever you want up off of this cliff, but absolutely not, you're going to back Jesus up. And Jesus walks through. He has the courage, he has the resilience, he has the strength to know who he is and not need any validation from anybody else. It's just so beautiful. Please, if you have an hour, please go and watch that sermon, because it has actually changed the trajectory of my life and of my business and of where I want to go in the future. And that's where we're going to leave it today. I hope you understand why I took that break, why it was so poignant. It has brought me nothing but joy to take that break. I absolutely love you guys. I'm going to be back on the next episode. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, because Cosy Coaching is back. Sunita is back. And we're not going anywhere. We're just going on a new path. I love you. Bye.